New Earth AC was formed by divine guidance to help lift up humanity and raise the vibration of all. New Earth is a community that started as a Facebook group and has grown to become an online interactive platform for those seeking to uplift, empower, and co-create with one another. On top of uplifting and inspiring posts, we began to connect with our members on a more deeper level. We now regularly host what we call Unity Circles and live stream them on our YouTube channel. Each circle is hosted by a member who wishes to share their knowledge and gifts out to the world in hopes that they can make a difference in the lives of others. You can find these circles inside the New Earth AC Divine Ray store and on our YouTube channel. Please take whatever resonates and let the rest fall away. New Earth AC is always on the lookout for new Unity Circle hosts. If you have special gifts and know that what you have could uplift, empower, and inspire others, if you want to make a difference in the world, why not host an online Unity Circle with us? We always live stream the circles onto the New Earth YouTube channel and promote our hosts to the world. If you think you have something to give, let Bonnie Bird, David Starr, and Robin Nicole know personally, or email us at newearthac1111@gmail.com, and we will place you onto the calendar and bring you onto a community chat to let everyone get to know you before your circle.
Hello, everybody. So we're here again today for another Unity Circle, aren't we, Bonnie?
Yeah, we're excited. We have a lovely lady here today.
Yeah. So, I'm gonna introduce her by reading out her bio, and so here we go. So her name is Caitlin Hueller, and she is a spiritual coach, a Reiki Master, a meditation guide, intuitive healer, and tarot reader. All that she does is powerfully woven into her daily life. And she is inspired to start this heart-moving and soul-changing journey. And so she basically does a lot of work with finding your purpose and empowering people. So today she's coming on and she's doing a Unity Circle, and the topic is called Journey of Self-Love. So let's bring her on. Bonnie, what do you think?
Bring her on. I'm excited.
Let's bring her on. And guess who else is here?
Is David here too?
David showed up. So we'll bring David on first. And David can say hi first really quick. If I can get down to the thing on the screen. And then we'll bring Caitlin on. Hi, David.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Hi. Okay. So we even told David that you kind of know our guest today. She hasn't met you, like, she's only like talked to you like through chats or whatever like this, but she hasn't met you face to face yet. But we've been told that you know her too. So how do you know everybody before we bring people on all the time, David?
There's just so much light missions going on the planet, and everybody's kind of like grouping up and doing these different missions and stuff. So it's awesome. It's awesome.
Everybody knows David. We always think we're going to bring somebody on that David doesn't know, and every single time. Yeah. So here we go, David. This is Caitlin Hueller. So you get to meet her in the flesh today.
Awesome.
Hello. Thank you guys for having me.
You're so welcome. So Caitlin is also one of the Divine Ray people, David. She has been putting up videos.
Yes,
and
it's amazing.
Yeah, the only thing is we were talking right before we went on, we're gonna have to have a chat. I think she's having an issue with her videos not going up, but she has an Android. We've been talking about it, and I think it was the problem I was having with my Android, and I think we fixed the problem. So I've asked her to, she's gonna uninstall and reinstall and see if that helps.
Yeah.
If not,
There was a whole bunch of updates, I think, like 3 months ago. And if anybody was on an older version, like now it updates through the store, but it just that one time did on the store.
Yeah, I was on right from the get. So
Yeah, that's what I have a feeling. That's
Yeah,
what
she
she's,
needs
because
to
the
do
way
that.
she was explaining what was happening to her videos sounds like that problem that I was having, and then we fixed it, and then now the update works. So
Yeah.
hopefully that will help her. And if anybody else out there is watching and they're on Divine Ray and they're on an Android, and you are finding that you're having problems getting your videos uploaded, and you were on there early, definitely go in and uninstall and reinstall it, because that problem has been fixed. So there we go.
um,
We're doing a little housekeeping before we get going, David.
That's great. Yeah. I'm just trying to
All
find
right.
my YouTube so I can start sharing out here. Just give me a sec.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, so we want to get to know you a little bit before we go in and start talking about the topic. Bonnie, will you go ahead and just start?
Well, so what was your beginning? I mean, what started you on your path?
yeah, so for me, actually, I would say close to 4 years now. Um, I've been really, investing in this journey, and it really started with the birth of my daughter. Um, I was kind of in that middle place of still working that 9 to 5 job and, integrating like my tarot reading, meditation, but it just wasn't feeling satisfying enough. I felt like I wasn't sharing it as openly as I wanted to. And then when my daughter was born, I realized I just didn't want to go back to work. And it's just really interesting. The universe always gives me such guidance, and I actually put myself into a job position and quickly moved away from it. And from there, Caitlin was born. So, it was really a way that I was able to take care of myself, to keep my personal identity, but also to share anything that came through the universe and, support my community and support my people as well. So it was birthed through my daughter, literally.
That's amazing.
Very cool.
Because I'm more comfortable.
Oh,
It has the system and it's how to
I think
use
it's
the
had a note
tarot.
on.
Bonnie, you're cutting in and out a little bit. Is it hold? Let's see. We got to see if Bonnie's still there. You still there, my Bonnie bird? I'm over there. I'm over on the other thing sharing, and I could hear her. She's kind of like gone frozen on us, hasn't she?
Yeah.
That's been technology so much these days.
Oh, here she is. She's back again.
Right.
We got her.
So what I would how did you learn to read the tarot cards? Because I'm more of a oracle person and straight channel. So the system, how did you learn that?
Actually, I'm a full intuitive reader. So I do use Oracle as well as tarot. And for me, it started out having readings myself. So I'd go and see my tarot reader all the time. I was that girl just going to have readings almost every week. And then I started falling in love with it. I bought my first deck of tarot cards. And, I was reading every page, trying to really dive into, I need to learn the meanings. And then I started, breaking away from that and really realizing that, I had clairvoyance and clairaudio, and I started hearing and feeling on a deeper level than before, and realized that I needed to just follow what I was saying. I would hear these things and then try to read for someone and hold that back, and then they would tell me after. So for me, it really developed slowly over time of just having to trust. And I still don't know all the meanings to all the cards, but they come through in different ways each and every time. So I'm definitely more drawn to Oracle for short term, so here and now. And then I tend to use the tarot if I'm going towards like what's happening in the next couple of months, or, even looking on a year or reading different timelines. So
just in the intuitive and follow the
Let me see
sequences
if I
in
can tell the
ways
connection
to
here.
do
Bonnie's a robot. Bonnie, you're kind of sounding like a robot.
Yeah.
And maybe it might help for Bonnie to go out and come back in again and see if it's better for you, Bonnie. We would try that. She can't even hear me asking her to do. She'll come right back.
She said, yeah.
But I find it interesting because, like, do you think some people are do you think people tend to be like really like tarot or like really like oracle decks, and very rarely that they're like an in-between person? Because like I find I'm really into oracle, but I have one tarot deck and that's it, and I don't ever use it.
I can definitely see that. I feel that I would say that it depends on your gifts. So for me, I'll show you some of my oracle here. You'll see a very common trend in all of my oracle. You'll see a lot of bright colors. You'll see kind of short sentences. So for me personally, I'm drawn to more oracle than tarot because I am very much on an emotional and color base when I read. And I think that, you know, sometimes people who are maybe more logical or like the details in the tarot are symbolic, may be drawn more towards the tarot than the oracle. So I think it just depends, honestly, on how you read. It could also start from where you learn. So if you were first given an oracle deck versus tarot, you might gravitate towards one or the other. But I know many tarot readers who go back and forth, and that's what I find. I will gravitate for months on months to oracle, and then all of a sudden I'll just miss my tarot deck and bring those out. So I so hear what you're saying, Robin, with having that big stack of oracle and then just
Yeah.
going
And are you like me? I'm kind of like an oracle card junkie. I'm a crystal and oracle card junkie. Like I like when it's my birthday or Christmas, first thing my husband will say is, "What deck are you looking for now?" or "What crystal are you looking for now?" Because I always have one on my mind that I need. And then I have, like, right here next to my desk, I have like about 30 different decks. And I have a hard time trying to decide which ones to use because I love them all.
Exactly. 100%. I will say that I have more tarot and oracle decks than I do shoes. So
Okay.
it's
So like,
love.
so I guess we could be the type of people that wear more like crystal and tarot and oracle decks, and we're just not the type of people like it. I remember when I had some, I'm not really good about going and buying clothes, you know, like I'm not interested at all in clothes and shoes and all this kind of stuff. And I remember one year, I think it was for my 40th birthday, my mother-in-law, my sister-in-law, they all like put money together and they gave me a good sum of money for my birthday. And when they handed it over, they said, "You have to buy clothes with this." And I was like, "What? I don't want to buy clothes." They're like, "You need clothes." They are threadbare. You need some clothes. I'm like, "Oh, well, my clothes are fine. I don't really go anywhere. I think I need to go buy a crystal or something." And they were like, "Well, you can buy like something, but you have to buy some clothes first. You have to buy some clothes, and if you have anything left, then maybe, you know, you can do that." But it was really funny because, like, I just don't want to buy clothes and stuff.
I'm the same way. Most of my stuff that I have has been handed down to me or gifted to me for clothes. So I have more crystals than I do anything else in tarot. And I think on a more heart-based note for that is that my tarot and oracle cards, when I was going through a really hard time, you know, I've been introduced to tarot like probably 10 or 15 years ago, but it was always there for me. It was the first connection to the universe, to spirit, to my spirit guide. So you know, healing work, moving through those trauma spaces, my cards and my crystals have always been there for me, you know. So I think that some people may underestimate the value of them. They're just cards, but for me, they've been a huge emotional support. And now I can take that and support other people with the crystals and with the cards. So they hold a very important space. And as you probably know, they all have their own personalities. So I know the days I don't want a harsh message, I don't go towards certain decks, right? So I speak very loudly.
And sometimes do you have certain cards that I actually had to take some cards out of my decks? Like, I don't want to see that card. There's this one card in one of my fairy decks. It's called Gotcha. And the guy in it is like all googly. And every time that I see that card, like every time that card comes, it means something horrible is going to happen in my life, because everything always happens horrible when that guy comes out. And I got tired of every now and then pulling that guy. So one day I just said, you know what? I think I'm going to take him out of the deck and just get rid of him, because I don't want him there.
Did you throw him in the garbage and go, gotcha?
I put him into this little box, and I said, okay, you can sit there and I won't use you, because I don't want doom and gloom. You know, I mean, that gotcha guy, I just couldn't take him at all. So like, do you do that at all? Do you take like some of them out of your deck because you don't want to like?
No. For me, I really appreciate, I guess you could say, some of the darker cards. They really help me to move through, you know, when I really need a kick in the butt. But one thing that my cards do that's really funny is I call them travelers. So either my daughter, fairies, my spirit team, they'll move these cards and they'll disappear from my deck. And then when I'm moving the bed or places that I don't clean that often, let's be honest, like behind the couch, I will find the messages that I need on those days. Sometimes I found them in the van. I'm like, how did this even get in here? So mine travel.
So me too.
But they'll come back.
Yeah. And I was watching Amanda Ellis the other day, and she was doing a read, and she was like, all of a sudden, she was just talking about a topic, and then she started shuffling her cards, and all of a sudden this card was like in the deck that, where did this come from? This is from another deck. I don't even know what deck it's from. She was, let's see what it looks like. And it was exactly the topic she just got done talking about. It was really weird, like how that card landed in that deck that day. We've got Bonnie back. So,
all right.
Bonnie, you haven't really missed much. We were just kind of waiting for you to be able to come back on. We're talking about our oracle and decks and how we kind of like basically like them more than we like going out to buy clothes. Like
I know. How we have a whole library of them for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah. David, do you have a lot of oracle decks and stuff like that, or is yours more crystals?
I'm more crystal. I remember there's a time in the summer where I bought so much in crystals, and I'm like, oh my God, it's going to be a tight food supply for the next 4 weeks.
Yeah.
I do that with crystal too. Want to see my last baby?
Yes, we do want to see this.
Wow.
So Bonnie asked her crystal lady to get her, what kind of crystal is that called?
It is a blue flame. It's
right.
It's calcite, blue calcite.
Right. So she just was like asking her to get her like a little one because she wanted to get 3 different colors. And she says, your thing is in, and she's like $70 some odd. And Bonnie's like, what?
That's beautiful.
She
that
said,
energy.
But I'm glad I have it though. I really love it. But might be a minute before I get the other 2.
That's a nice vibration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's focus now. So basically, Caitlin, you are our host for today, and our topic, you're like our little special guest, and you chose to do a talk or kind of do something around the journey of self-love, because this is basically what you do and what you focus on. So we're really excited to hear about the journey of self-love through you. And so I guess we're just gonna sit back and we're going to listen, and we're going to ask you questions, and hopefully we were talking about the fact that you might pull some cards, or you might do a guided meditation or something. So
Yeah, that sounds great. Yeah, so why don't we just start by talking about the journey of self-love? And I think I'll talk from my personal space of my journey. Just really going through that emotional journey of needing to be a certain way with our self-love. And I think the biggest thing that comes up during, a self-love journey is learning compassion and just looking at yourself through different lenses. Taking away and stripping away those comparisons that we might begin to, peer over here or peer over there at other people, and just realizing that, in the journey of self-love, we really need to come back to our authentic selves, really stand in that authentic presence. And regardless of what other people may expect of us during our journey of self-love, which is, of course, their entire life, expectation or what they may have planned out for us, even from birth, growing up with our parents, and really just in reintegrating that self-love and self-understanding, I find so important. And that for me falls under the bracket of compassion. Growing up, I had, some energy that came down on me for being interested in tarot cards or in healing work. But somewhere in my soul, in that heart space, I felt like I didn't want to give it up, that I had a really hard time disconnecting from that. And I do know quite a few other people who have been kind of tested in, do I just put this away, or do I really fully, step into that? So having that compassion for ourselves can be really, really crucial to understand that we have needs, that we have a personal vibration that requires us to be listened to, that really wants to be heard. And I really find that compassion can be kind of that first step in just understanding that, our heart and our vibration has specific needs that may not be viewed, in a good light for other people. So I thought maybe I'll pull some cards and just see what comes up for compassion, and then kind of talk on the next point here. What do we all need to hear about compassion at this time? Exactly what I was saying. So we have here the transformation card, and just that beautiful energy, that offering of this bowl. And I think like a lot of us during this journey will be offered certain opportunities to deepen our self-love or deepen our spiritual gifts or awakening. And, really standing in that place of love and trust, and, allowing ourselves to really go through that transformation. And this is where self-love has really come into play, is sometimes it looks really ugly. We may feel different emotions that are completely natural, such as anger or fear, guilt or shame. And it might try to kind of lower us down during this transformation. And just being in that compassionate place, that sometimes what needs to leave us comes out a little bit ugly. It comes out in a way that it came in. So we might be moving repressed energy from our ancestors, from our childhood, from even the present energy. And during this transformation, we are moving so much within ourselves, our muscles, our DNA, our auric field. That self-love is really, really important. We may not be acting the way that we normally do, or we may not be communicating in a way that we normally like to, but just remembering with that self-love and compassion that all of that is worthy. And what I love is this next card that came up here. is new beginnings. So often, the way that I personally as well develop or ascend is through those rough times, through those challenges, or through those moments where I'm being pulled energetically, where we're like, what is going on? And often the times that I have those moments where I really need to drop into self love, where I'm not feeling like myself, or I'm having those self doubts, new beginnings are just around the corner. That transformation is really linked to, that heart space. And after comes that new beginning. So with self love, it really can be about just having that compassion and understanding that this is actually taking us to a new place. And if we can surrender and let go and really drop into what may feel uncomfortable, we're coming out on the other side, brighter, stronger, feeling more in alignment. And it can sometimes feel really uncomfortable.
This is so cool because this morning when I pulled my cards, I
Yeah.
got 3 cards out about what you're talking about right here. The compassion and love and all of that came out today in my cards. So I just think this is kind of, I don't
It's
know,
all,
synchronistic.
yeah, that's amazing. What else did you find in your cards, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, they were all about like to this morning they were about like love, and like the first card came out about love and compassion. I'm trying to see if they're like sitting right here. Um, it was love, relationships, and harmony.
Oh,
And then
beautiful.
I got another card about the bee. And the bee always means working together. So they want us to work together to make our heart a home, but to do it like they're talking about the new earth, because the first card that came out was about like dream for the new earth, time for a magical new life, right? And
Yeah.
then it was all about like we all have to work together and have love and compassion with each other. So that we can manifest like the best possible new world that we can, and we'll do it together. We're going to make our heart a home. We're going to use compassion, and we're going to work together doing it in unity.
Oh, that's such a beautiful collective energy going on right now, right?
Mhm.
And I love how you're speaking about working together, because the last card that I pulled here is balance.
Mhm.
And really just being able to um, find a balance. And sometimes, like you were saying, working together, we might need to lean on the support of, our companions, our loved ones, our community, like the beautiful community that you all are building. And that can really help us find a balance within as well. It's not always those closed doors. There's room for us to blossom and bloom as a gathering, as a group. And even just the healing work that I've seen, personally, David, online, and the healing work that I do and many of us do, it's all working together to bring a balance here.
Mhm.
And just
It's
keeping in
so
alignment
too,
with
the
that love.
synchronicity, like, is
I had,
unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
there's someone I was speaking with today. Her name's Araya, and we did some
Mm.
work in Mount Shasta together back in March. And she was offline, and she's been guided to go to like the Appalachian Mountains and do a whole bunch of clearing and stuff. Well, in the last 2 weeks, she was clearing out, and she wasn't connected to Facebook or anybody else that's going on. Doesn't know what anybody's doing online, and she was clearing a lot of stuff, like in the dark realms and with like do with like sexual trauma
Yes.
within the collective and over the timelines and cycles. And she's clearing all this stuff out of the dark realms and stuff. And there was a whole bunch of us too that was doing dark realm clearing work and clearing the dark template and all that stuff. And so she connects back up to Facebook, and we're having a conversation. She's like, "What have you been up to, like in the last like 2 or 3 weeks, month?" And we're sharing, and it's like that's what I've been doing. And it's like there's and and there's so many people doing all these missions and clearings and activations, and it's so connected. like the credit goes to everybody because it's that connected. There's like literally no separation, and we're all getting like so much of the same information at the same time, working on the same things. You can't make it up.
It's so cool.
And David, we're also seeing another theme as well. There's another theme going on top of what you're doing. There seems to be another theme what everybody's getting is it's time to basically restore the well, replenish the well. And
Yes.
a lot of us are being told to pull back and basically replenish ourselves for some reason. And I noticed that when you were on with Amy the other night, she was talking about that she was doing a 3-day fast. People are talking about doing the fasts.
Yeah,
like they're all being like told to pull back and get yourself ready, get yourself replenished for something. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's
Totally. Yeah, I've actually had. Oh, sorry.
We all start talking together.
All right. I know. I got the same message though. I was told the same thing last night to just, slow down, replenish, go within and relax a little bit.
Fill the stores up, fill yourself up.
Right.
Because like
there's
all
something
the baby
coming.
stuff has been done now, I think, and now like what's mostly left is just the humanity stuff, like the humanity awakening. If this walk-in thing happens that everybody's talking about, like these million souls coming in or something at high frequencies, that'd be pretty cool.
Right.
But like I think it is the time, like, because everything now is at warp speed, and the expansions in the universe is just insane. So the ability to manifest, I think now is going to be quick. I'm sure of it.
Yeah, and then the other theme that has been coming through is that a lot of people are busy. We're all like real busy, and there's like a lot of distortions going on.
Yeah.
And so like we've been guided. Even the three of us, we did something there that one day where we were basically told that there was like another mass awakening coming, another wave of it, and that we were told that there's going to be a lot of distortions, a lot of distractions, and the key was to keep being this pillar. Like we had to like keep our pillar of light. That was like the message kept coming. And then that was another one: restore, replenish, and keep yourself as a pillar, and not to get like distracted with all of the stuff that's going on about like all of the different like predictions and like the timelines that are going to be changing, to not like focus, and to know that whatever happens and whatever timeline is going to be the highest, you just keep focusing on the highest, best possible timeline where we all will be, and then to not fear. And that's another thing, to not fear it, and not fear what's going to happen, and not worry about what's going to happen, and just like take it. That's why we need to replenish. We need to build ourselves up so that like if something were to happen, we will be ready for it. We'll be prepared, and we will know exactly what we're meant to be doing because we're listening. We're listening to our guides. They're guiding us, telling us where to be, because each one of us will be having to do something different. Like it's not the same. So they're saying don't focus on what everybody's telling and all the predictions and all that going on in the world, and just do this. Like step back, fast, and do what you need to do.
This morning, the cards that I pulled this morning was abundance. Abundance is coming. So, to manifest that, and also manifest the new world to come together to manifest that. And
did you happen to get this card too, Bonnie, today? The one about the new world?
Yeah, I did.
Dreams, did you get this card today?
That's amazing.
Because we both have the same deck.
And then I got transmutation and integration. So
that's exactly what she was just talking about.
Yeah, that's the time period that we're in. And then the last one, and the last one was compassion and love, to show the love. And so we all drew the same cards this morning. So that's confirmation that our guides, even though they're from different decks, and ours happen to be the same deck with Robin, but they're telling us the same thing over and over. over and over. And also they're telling us to change the radio dial. What my guides have been telling me is to connect to the blessed Gaia, to connect to her, and then connect to your higher selves and the sun.
Yeah,
And
no more grounding into the 3D
Gaia.
Earth.
Right.
Have you guys
Right.
ever heard of that Melchizedek Master
Yeah.
guy?
Yeah.
Have you just
Yeah.
started learning about him, David?
He came to me last night. I never even heard of him. And I'm like,
We're going on a tangent, Caitlin. This happens, by the
No,
way.
I love this. This is my life.
just wondering, like, what your thoughts are on that. Like,
There's a whole the Melchizedek order. I mean, it's all under Yahshua, and it's all, you know, it's
because
Yahshua's
he said
included.
that Yeshua was part of that family.
Yeah.
Yes, they have something to do with the Merkaba as well. Like there's something about they do in the I am presence, and there's
orange,
and
an orange ray, like an
Metatron
orange
included.
light to him.
Mm-hmm.
Orange. I don't know what that means, but it's just.
I think he might be connected to Metatron as well.
Yeah, that's what I just said. Metatron.
That's the energy I was picking up when you were talking about it. So.
So what did he say to you, David?
Oh, he said that. He said that that the masters don't eat anything that has the sacred heart, meaning like anything that had a heart. And he's saying like they don't hold judgment anybody that does, and they've been holding space for me, but it's just time for me to choose some higher things. And
so basically, they're telling you not to eat animals.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, and this
I'm
is
kind
what
of getting this.
We were talking about this morning too, right, Robin and Bonnie?
Oh God, I got the whole told I have to like lose the weight, and I really have to stop with the. I really have to just like, it's time for balls to the walls. I gotta eat the vegetables, and
it's a tough one, right? Because we're so used to this.
Yeah.
And then my secondary question, well, not question, but my secondary thought that comes to that too is that if I'm making this choice, then like with my kids, I'd be making it with them as well, right? So because if I would really be standing to honor the Sacred Heart in that way, I would be honoring it through my children as well, right? And then the other questions then begin, like how would they get certain nutritional values that they're going to need as growing little kids?
David, is it just me, or is your volume way down?
No, it's just it's inside here, because I was listening to it on the YouTube inside my ear, and you can hear David just fine. I think it has to do with this program, Bonnie.
Okay, I'm at 90. I'm at 100 now.
No, because I was wondering that myself, and I went in to listen, and I could hear
my earbuds on.
No, but it's just this StreamYard thing that we're on right now. For some reason, David is low in it.
Oh.
But you can hear him perfectly on the live feed.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know. That's why I just... Yeah, so I don't know what to do with that other than with your children. You're going to have to really like look up nutritional, like you might have to go with some supplements or something you're going to have to do, because they do need to get the protein somehow.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of recipes too.
There are, and I definitely understand with what David's saying too, and I think this is a really big collective energy, because I've had some downloads even from the Arcturian energy that there's going to be, like new energy not only coming to us, but moving through us. So even as healers, we're going to be needing to move energy at a higher frequency. So our bodies are, this is what I was told, are being required to, run on more of an optimal level. So for me, I've also had to make a lot of nutritional changes. And one of the things David was saying was, how can we incorporate with the children? So for me, I've just started by putting more of intention into what my daughter is eating. And then from there, I can slowly start transitioning her into that healthier aspect. But even just putting up an energetic block maybe around some of the ways they've been processed, or If you're used to eating certain foods, just adding extra intentions as you're cooking it can really start to help the body break that down in a different way energetically. And then from there, just feeling into perhaps, what changes you want to make, because it's hard with little ones to just.
Oh, yeah. That's what I've been doing.
And
Well,
you definitely can't, it's not a good thing to just stop it like
Yeah.
kill the turkey, David, because it's not good for the system.
Yeah,
Even like if you went on a raw
eating
food diet, because I
last
tried that
couple
once.
of years I've been
And
eating less meat, and I have been clearing the consciousness out of the meat for the last year. When I do eat it, it just seems like it's a pretty clear message to
Yeah.
shift, right? So
David,
I won't shift the kids right off the bat. Maybe I'll just
maybe you might have to do it for yourself first and see how it goes, and then start shifting them, and then keep doing what you're doing as far as like blessing their food and
Yeah. And I think this truly does fall under that whole self-love bracket as well, right? Is not only just having the love on a spiritual sense, but having love for our bodies physically. And, I really think that we're going to be moving a lot more energy, as David was saying, and Robin and Bonnie as well, on how we're doing a lot of work either through the nights or, on that collective base. I know for myself, I've been having a lot of, traveling, astral traveling dreams. And I keep coming to certain spaces, like the sexual trauma that's been clearing lately, like you were saying, and just moving all of that. So eating differently for me is also allowing me to be able to be more awake, my clarity, as I was telling Robin and Bonnie, from even just making healthier choices on a day-to-day basis in the last 3 months has helped me to hear better, but also just, translate that energy to others a lot better. So, yeah.
And Bonnie was saying something there right before we went on about how people that hold an angelic energy, they sometimes tend to be, they hold weight on them for some reason. I can't remember what she was saying, why they did it. I think it was for protection. Bonnie, can you hear us? Are you frozen or are you still with
I
us?
can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. That's why I was
Yes.
texting you to see, because like you looked like you were freezing there for a minute.
No, what people do is they keep the weight on for protection because they have a lot of trauma, a lot of things inside that they feel that there's two things. Releasing the trauma inside will help you lose weight, because as you release the trauma and learn to love yourself, and it's back to Caitlin's, back to her title, when you self-love is when you start to lose the weight, because when your thoughts and everything isn't kind and loving to your body and to your soul, you tend to try to protect yourself from all that lower vibration, and you gain the weight, and you try to protect yourself from everything that's happening around you. If you're living in a toxic environment, say you're a light worker, but you're family all don't see things the way you see it, and they're on the Fox News and doing all that stuff all the time.
Poor
You
Bonnie's got the
protect
Fox
yourself.
News at her house.
You protect yourself with that extra layer. Your body makes that shield, and so you have to talk yourself through and realize that you are a powerful light worker, and it's okay to release these things. It's okay to let go of these things, because eventually your energy, your light source is your protector. You don't need to use your body in that way. You can use your light in that way. And so you just have to reprogram your mind to accept the fact that you are powerful and you don't need to do that to yourself.
Yeah.
And convince your body, which is your inner child, convince your body that you're going to protect them with the light, and that they're going to be okay, that it can release all this stuff. So it's like there's like a whole lot of things that could go into that. It's the people who go on a diet, put it right back, go on a diet, put it right back. That's because their emotional inside is not ready. They're just not ready, so it's like working with all that to release all that. Different programs that you need to do with eating and eating disorders help you move into that healthier idea of who you are. It's just realizing that you're not this person that you created. You are the healthy person that is at a healthy weight inside, and you need to bring that forward. And that's what we're all working on doing right now, and releasing that, because we are in higher energies, and we need to release the things that, like the toxins and stuff that we're eating in the foods. We're putting that right back in our body. We're filling our, then we go and we eat toxins, and then we have to release it. Then we're filling ourselves with light, and then we're doing, it's a cycle. So it's like breaking that cycle and thinking about what it is that we're doing and why we're doing it, in order to make a change. And I actually make a plan of what you're going to do to make that change, because I do a lot of hypnotherapy work and nutrition work and stuff like that. So it helps people move into the light with their way of thinking and their physicality. And so that's a lot of different programs that you're working with, but it can be done. You just have to want to do it.
I just had a
Be
light
open to
bulb moment there, Bonnie, when you were talking, because I was thinking back, and something just kind of like came up in front of me about like around weight and about how I hold the weight. And when I was like 15 or 16 years old, I was looking for love, and there was this certain person that I was kind of fancy on. I had a crush on him, and he was nice to me when we were alone, like, but then when people are around, he just kind of like pushed me away and treated me not really nicely. And so I got this thing in my head that if I were to lose like a huge amount of weight, then he would then like me. And so I allowed myself to go anorexic just so that I would be loved, you know? And then I got so skinny that that the only thing that snapped me out of this like anorexia was him, because he said to me, he goes, "You're so skinny, it's like disgusting." And he wasn't like, it wasn't but like,
it.
so we do this, and so like since I was like 15 and 16 years old, I had like, I went on this like thing where I thought I needed to lose all this weight to be accepted, and then I learned that this isn't healthy and this isn't good for your body, and then I messed up all of my sugar, like all of my sugar levels, and I ended up becoming a person that's hypoglycemic. It's the opposite of diabetes. And so then all the way through my 20s, I seemed to be okay. I was able to kind of keep the weight kind of down. But then as I've gone older, now I'm like at the end of 40s now, and the weight is just coming on. And there's a part of me when you start talking about like going on a diet, when the doctor sits there in front of me today and said to me that my whole issue with my back is all really around my weight, that there's nothing wrong. The MRI came out, so there's nothing wrong. It made me feel sick to my stomach to think about going in and doing all this diet thing, because there's something in there that tells me that it's not good to do all that, because I went so far the other way before that I learned I almost got to like the death point. Okay. And so it's like, it's either all or nothing with me. And this is like all has to do with like what we're talking about today. I just had that light bulb moment. I don't know how to like work that. You know, how do you
like I had the same sort of experience, because I had done the same thing. I had lost weight down to way too skinny.
And to think
went the
about like
opposite
going
way.
and counting calories.
And I mean, countless women that we've known that has done the same thing and has an unhealthy relationship with food. And it's just because you don't love yourself for who you are. You don't love yourself at this weight right now. And then
No.
choose to eat and only choose to eat foods that nourish your body and loves your body back. And it's your choice. It's not you're being forced. You're not saying you have to eat this diet or you have to do this or you got to do that. You have to realize that you're making a conscious choice because you love yourself and you're doing it for yourself. And like the same thing that when you feed your children, and you don't want to feed them things that aren't good for them, you're making a conscious choice to be loving and to feed them foods that are good for them. And there's many different ways of cooking food, and different ways that you can make it be just as tasteful as the foods that you're eating that aren't healthy for you. You just have to be educated, just like everything else. You just have to be educated on how to do it, and then you have to have it in your heart to want to do it, and then
Yeah.
move forward from there.
What I find really interesting in my personal journey with all of this, I actually had not really many conflicts with my body issue in this lifetime. Most of my trauma came from a last lifetime. So I had to go back in and clear that out. So, I seen myself in a past life in a market as a young boy trying to make a living, starving to death. So in this lifetime, that translated for me to anytime that food was in the home, kind of stocking up. So sometimes, even if we try our best, we can carry that vibrational need to support or overfeed our children or ourselves because of something that we may have experienced in our past life as well. And this is where I think we're being so called to release that physical perhaps weight, but really start shifting the cells, the fat cells, the muscles, the memory, get oxygen into the body so we can actually finally cleanse all of that and find balance. Not necessarily, of course, for our appearance, but to even release and disconnect those energetic cords all the way in our past lives, so that we don't have to repeat this cycle of lack and of
Exactly.
fear, right? So
Exactly. Yeah,
I
I work a lot in the Akashic records, and I think that there's a lot
yeah,
of trauma and stuff connected to that. I really agree with everything you just said. And also, Yashua was just talking to me about the body being 72% water, purifying your waters, keep your waters
mhm,
pure.
David does
And
that.
he was talking about he's talking about the water within your body, and to
Oh, okay. Like, so
you
not
can
purify the
actually,
water that you drink,
well,
like
you should do
everything.
that too. You should do that too. But purifying the water within you, because all the emotions and all the things that you're polluting your water system, and so keeping that purified and releasing that energy and bringing, and that's a way of doing it. It's the way David's doing it with the water. But also you can bend the water. He was showing me how, you could make the tunnel. You could tunnel it out.
mhm.
You could do it with your mind, release it out of your body by making little tunnels and release it out. You can because we're water, we're 72% water. We're connected to the mother. We could call upon her clearing energy to clear our bodies and send energy.
What is David doing? David's doing something with
It's
some
all
sticks in
connected.
here.
I'm
What?
just I'm just tuning into cleansing our like all the waters within our
Yeah,
body.
I know.
Yeah, yeah,
Beautiful healing. Should we go
Yeah.
to healing? I feel like it's
Yeah, because you were
yeah,
talking about something about around this topic of self-love.
yeah. Let's go
yeah.
into a beautiful meditation here and we'll just do some cleansing. I think we have some key ideas on what needs to come up collectively in the body, the mind, and soul. So I'll just turn
And
down
I
my
think
light.
if we kind of do like a play, because if we each get channeled something in, we'll just
Yeah.
come out with it. Like you start it because
Yeah.
it's your
Yeah,
Well,
you're the
circle.
host. You're the host, so you're gonna start it and get us through. And then, when I don't know if you've watched us do like this kind of thing before. Just what we do is like if you feel like something's coming through by one of us, you just ask us to like, is there something coming through, or if you are done saying what you're saying, so we don't interrupt you. Usually, we'll say I'm complete, so that we know someone can just like pipe in and come in and say something.
that sounds
Okay.
beautiful.
All right.
Okay, just setting the intention today for whole body health, cellular rejuvenation, and calling in our angels, guides, gods, ascended masters, and all that we connect to. and feeling into our bodies with each breath in and out. The connectional need to release all stored energy in our cells, our muscles, our DNA, from all past life energy, present and future energy. Feeling this cleanse all the way into our cells, releasing any repressed energy, drawing this out and unhooking this from us now collectively, and calling in the energy of the universe and love to flow into our body, seeing a beautiful golden light coming up from the earth, through the soles of our feet, into the body, expanding with each breath in, and detoxifying with each breath out, and calling from above a white light to bring clarity into our energy, cleansing and clearing and revitalizing the cells, feeling that expansive energy now. Robin, did you have something to bring in? I'm feeling you in your energy here.
Well, I just have kind of like a song, I think, that wants to come through. And it's just like it's going to be a cleansing song. And so as we allow this negative energy that might be stored inside our systems and stored from past lifetimes and future lifetimes, I'm just going to sing. This is from the Lemurian sisters back down in Lemuria. So this is where this is coming from. Ayanati, ayanai, ayanu, alatania, alatayua, ayanati. Ayana ho, ayana hu, ayana tu. Bless your body, bless your cells and your whole auric field. Ayani, ayanu, ayani, ayanu. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Fill it up, fill it up with the light of your soul. Anayu, anayu, aya. I am complete.
And bringing our energy and awareness now to our heart chakra, just calling in from our galactic team, the blue flame, feeling this blue flame coming into our heart, purifying and detoxifying all cellular memory and DNA, allowing us to move forward in ways that we never have been able to before. And feeling our heart filling up with this light, with this flame, burning out, cleansing out. Yahweh okurumrete tiati teo komadura pataya tayo kurumataya te kamratia aya kurumatawata and illuminating all chips found in the body, from the head, the crown, all the way to the feet, and feeling in within each one of us places that these chips, resistors, have been placed. Seeing this now with the Arcturian energy being removed, circled in this blue flame and dissolving, allowing those resistors to be released and energy to flow freely through you, releasing from your energy now all places of fear, mass and collective energy, and holding back, and raising that vibration by 100%. I am complete.
I feel the Lemurian mothers here, and they're bringing in this beautiful energy of love and compassion and understanding of your own heart. Ko tohoia kayata inekete miata chana me katamo koto yana kata ayana kata yana kutuku miyana. Site mide ka yana kata miyata yana kayana. Site ini gadi kata amukutu yana kata amuku yana. Sisi ini kani ana kara kutuku miyana. So just take a deep breath. Breathe in this beautiful cleansing water all the way down through your every system, every cell, down to the ends of your toes. Feel your system expand into the light. Know your heart is true and loving and compassionate. And accept that you are the love and you are the light. And you and all the rest of the collective are the way. Takaane kaya takashuguyana. Site amukutukumiyana. Shisha anayana katarayana. Be proud of who you are. Stand in the light tall. Tukushaya ta iniki ini. Uruguyana yataya. And so it is. I am complete.
David, you got something?
Yeah. So we're going to connect to all of our fat cells that are not serving us, that are not serving our highest good, that have stored trauma in it, in all times and space, in the infinity realities. And we're going to connect divine consciousness through it to each one of those cells. There's like trillions and trillions of it. Everybody who's watching or whoever's going to watch this, these light strands, it's connected to these traumas. And just with intention, we're going to send in divine forgiveness to ourselves and to others who have caused these traumas in our lives, these fears, these negative emotions that are stored within our cells. And we're going to bring in the Christed golden waters of creation to flood through these light strands into our fat cells that are not serving, to release the traumas and fears out of them so that they may transform, that it may be released. And we're just going to send lots of love and self-love to mix in with these sacred waters flowing through to all these cells and all timelines, letting go of all of the negative emotions stored within our cells, within our fat cells. Just further cleansing and clearing, dissolving the traumas that have been stored, that have left a print, and rejuvenating them with creation. Letting it go and letting it go and releasing it. Just take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, you'll send all that trauma back up to source, releasing it from your cells. Just one more deep breath in, collecting the rest of them, and exhaling them all out. And just knowing that all those voids and all those cells are being replenished by the sacred waters of creation, which is unbelievable love in all of our cells. And just give some gratitude to all of the divine, all of our guides who have led us into this release. And a gratitude to ourselves for transforming. Being thankful that they have let go of all this trauma. Thanking them. I am complete.
I have some messages coming in now from my and our ancestors. We need to restore our soul through the land, replenish what was once with us and now has been forgotten. Eko no maya kaete bea kawata haya kene ajaodawada. The waters in our land no longer carry the memories of our ancestors, but the trauma of our land. Go down to the waters and bring blessings here. For all water runs through all walks of life and all soul. Be back with one and one with our heart. Allow the waters to flow through our heart once again. Go to the land and restore this within our heart, and our heart shall restore all. I hear the cries of all of you and all that were here. Times are changing and change is on the rise. I am complete.
So I had the little Marian mothers want to do a blessing of the waters. Tokoshena ya takaya kutokoya dakaya pakayana tayan nukutuya na shatanya nadariara. The blessing of the Mother Gaia. Kutukuri bekarari bekarayana kaya shanaya tayana. The blessings of the human bodies. Kutukuri getayana kaishanayana. The blessings of the animal kingdom. Pukuru getakayana tashinayana. The blessings of the fairies and all the elementals. The stars, the universe. Blessings to the all. Bring the blessing of the Christed energy into the waters. Go and be blessed. Know that you are always with spirit. The spirit of the elements. Take a deep breath. You are blessed. Integrate. And so it is.
On that note, guys,
I am complete.
I do have to get going here.
Yeah.
Caitlin, it was so great and wonderful to spend this time.
Yes.
Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
David.
We'll see you later, David. Thanks for coming and visiting us for a little bit.
All right. Love you guys. Bye.
Love you.
too.
Love you, bye.
Ground yourself.
Look at this. I forgot to show. This was one of the other cards that came up today. Water. It was literally water. And I never told you guys that because I forgot to pick that card up earlier.
It's so beautiful.
Because you're supposed to pick it up now.
Like, you
What a
can't make
blessing.
this stuff up. You can't make this stuff up.
No.
We do.
This is a beautiful, beautiful healing that we had today. And this is the last card I'll pull for all of us, the world. And look at that. This is really talking about raising that vibration within, healing those and cleansing those waters, bringing compassion through nutrition, but also releasing that energy and healing the waters of this land so that we can once again cleanse our heart. I'm so excited.
what an amazing circle, because Spirit brought this through through the four of us, channeled this for everyone, for the collective, because they wanted to get this message through to the collective. And I just want to thank all of our guides and angels for coming and blessing us today. And I think it was something to be a part of this, and for many future circles in the future. So, hopefully, we get some more people who want to come in and see what our guides and angels want to do to help bless the nation and the world.
Yeah. And so we're really happy that you came on, Caitlin. This was really amazing for you to come on and for us to be able to meet you and just feel your essence, because we've been watching you on the Divine Ray, and I just love your heart, and I'm so happy that you decided to come and share with us today from our invitation that we gave to you. And so we just want to tell people how they can get a hold of you. Do you do private sessions for people? What do you offer?
Yeah, so I offer Reiki, teaching that as well, meditation and guidance, and healing work. And then I also have products to go along with that to support. And I do private one-on-one sessions, as well as, group teachings and readings, of course.
Very good. And so I put at the bottom of the screen, you can see it's like flipping around, so it'll go with the video. So we don't have to worry about it being in the comment sections of any place where it's at. So this is how you can find Caitlin, through Facebook, and it's going around so fast that at the moment I can't start where it starts. So her website is
All you have to do is pause it.
Caitlin's Heart. What is it? What's your website? Tell us your website so that
www.caitlinshearttoheart.holistichealing.com. So my full business name
is Caitlin's Heart to Heart Holistic Healing.
Yeah.
That's so beautiful.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
It is beautiful.
What a blessing to have you here today.
And
the
you,
door is
Robin,
always open.
This is such a beautiful time to share, and I'm just so glad that we could bring these messages, as well as just raise that energy. I'm feeling so blessed just to be here and share and support, and I know that these messages will reach the hearts of a lot of people today.
Well, I do feel happy. I feel a little bit more uplifted. Before we came on, I was kind of like, I don't know if I feel like doing a Unity Circle today. But it wasn't Bonnie. I was like,
And I told her, I said, you will feel better, I guarantee you, if you do it.
Yeah. So
and
I was like, so like there was no getting out of it. And I'm so happy that we did this today. So we're gonna get ready to close out, but before we close out, Caitlin, you don't need to leave. When we actually leave, let's say hi to you for a little bit at backstage kind of thing. But we just want to talk a little bit now about the Divine Ray and how you're going to be finding us on the Divine Ray very soon, because the Divine Ray is an app inside Google and Apple, and it's created by David, our David Starr that was just on, and he got this message. It was a 3-part dream, and he was basically shown to create this app for everybody in the world, so that we would have a place that would be high vibrational, and a place where we could share our hearts out to the world and kind of be there with other people, and also a place of abundance. So like he's created like a little store inside of there, so you can actually like put up your sessions and sell your products or whatever you have, your meditations, activations, workshops, classes, anything that you create. You can do this directly inside this app. So we're just basically going to promote it a little bit. And so I'm just going to leave us with a little bit of a video, a little bit about what this Divine Ray is all about. So I think...
Until next time, our heart to your heart.
We love you.
With love. I can't even get around the sign. With love.
Heart to heart. Okay, so I'm going to play the video, and we will see you all the next time that we show up. I don't know when that will be.
the many negative social media apps out there in the world today? If you are feeling this way, know you are not alone. Many have been searching for new places to fill this space inside of them that wants to connect to the world in a much deeper and more profound way. I'm proud to announce there is now a brand new social media app to place our divine wisdom into, a positive and uplifting platform where you feel inspired and full. David Starr, founder and creator of the Divine Ray app, has met with us on the New Earth AC YouTube channel to discuss all of the details around how to find and use this high vibrational social media app, so you can begin to voice your divine wisdom. To learn more, go to the New Earth AC channel to find this video.
And you will find this video. It's located in our New Earth AC YouTube channel, and it's a long video, but it has everything you need to know about the Divine Ray, what the intentions are around it, how it came about, how to use it, how to use it to make yourself abundant, and to also there's just everything that there is about this app. So go over and check out the video if you're interested in learning about what this Divine Ray is all about, because we're going to be there very soon, and we're going to be streaming inside the Divine Ray.
Gonna be streaming live.
Bye. Bye.